Hi folks, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to The Addicted Bookworm, and today is the last day of September. We're now entering October, which is going to be full-on spooky season, and yes, we are happy that it is happening. We're happy that it is happening. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my TBR, how many books I have left to read, and why I did it. And I'm doing this for my new subscribers, so you guys are caught up on why I am doing this, the point of it, and what I'm hoping to get out of it. I do hope to remember all those points during the course of this video. So first of all, if my voice is a little loud, I do apologize. I am partly deaf in one ear, so that is what my doctor diagnosed. That's what my mama said the doctor diagnosed me having. So yeah, we'll just take that for what it is. So anyways, welcome everybody to my first TBR down to zero, or zero TBR wrap up. So I don't remember how many books I read, because I read ebooks, I read from both Kindle and Nook. I even read books that basically I just pulled off the shelf and read. So for people that are new, I had well over 150 some books. And for a lot of people, that may not appear to be a lot of books. However, when you're in the business of buying books for enjoyment, that number can go up pretty quickly, depending on how many authors you follow and how many books that they write that you're looking forward to. So for me, in my fantasy section, I don't have every single fantasy author that has ever written any kind of book. I have several that I personally enjoy reading that might be a little naughty little thing to read, but I enjoy reading from those authors. Though Sarah J. Maas I will be dropping when I finish the final book that I got that she wrote and all that. So in mystery, I have probably about 8 authors that I am personally reading their books from, like Cleo Cole and Maddie Day and people like that. Horror, I may have 4, maybe 5 authors that I'm personally following, like R.L. Stine and Grady Hendrix and authors like that. So I'm now down to 137 books, and that is a big step from going from 150 some books to 137 books is absolutely amazing. My goal for next month is to get those 8 books that I have still left down to 4. So that means that I will have probably about 133 books. So if I can get to maybe like 125 books, that will be absolutely amazing. I will be very happy about that. I am most likely going to have 2 books definitely finished by the end of next month, and that is going to be the one with the I can't remember the name of it, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I have it as a Kindle Unlimited edition as well as a physical book. Now, some people will get on here and say, how can you read J.K. Rowling? She's problematic and all this. I am going to be very blunt. This is a channel where I read all kinds of books from all kinds of authors. I read one book that I will not mention the name of it because of how divisive it is. No, I read that book because I wanted to know what was so bad about the book. So I read all kinds of books. I enjoy all kinds of books. And I am never going to alter what I originally decided on 5 years ago, that I was going to read all different kinds of books. And it's important to read all different kinds of books from all different kinds of authors. So yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to getting those books read, getting down to 0. That way I have more breathing room. So for people that think that having a extremely large TBR is amazing, I am going to be very blunt. It is not amazing. It is absolutely suffocating, because you're around all these choices. You're around all these choices, and you don't know what to get. You don't know what to read. You know, oh, should I read a mystery today? Should I read a horror? Should I read fantasy? Should I read science fiction? Oh, I got 800 books. And during the course of the month that I was reading my books, I saw videos of people with massive book hauls, 90, 100 books, and I'm like, you're never going to read all those books. You're never going to read them. And trust me when I say this, even though I am a book reviewing channel where I review all sorts of books no matter who the author is, I know that when I go into a Barnes & Noble that it is a big temptation to come out with a bunch of books, because, oh, look at this book and this book and this book and this book. And it can be very, very overwhelming to basically have these books and know the more books you buy, the lesser chance you're going to read them all. So being down to 137 from 150 some books is a milestone, and I celebrate with a invisible flag. As I said, my goal for the end of October is to have my books down to 125 books. And if I can do that, that will be absolutely great. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to put down 137, and every time that I finish a physical edition of a book, I will scratch it off and put the new number. And by the end of the month, I should be able to tell you if I've reached 125 books. Because if I reach 125 books, that will be that'll be even more of a weight off my shoulders, because then I'm much closer to the amount that I want to get to. And my goal is May of next year to be finally down to 0. So yeah, it's very important for me to do this, because as I said, I have plans for my channel. I have plans for longer content. I have plans for more in-depth content. All different kinds of things. And I can't do it with a large TBR. So yeah, it's important for me. But another thing that I've noticed in the month since I've started with this is people talking about, what is it? The problem with large TBRs. And a lot of them can't understand how in the world could you have such a large TBR. And even I don't understand it, because I will say this: every book that I have in my library that's unread, every book that's in my library that's unread. Um, I wanted to buy. I wasn't drawn to, I didn't get it because of Book Talk or TikTok. I got it because I wanted to read it. It wasn't just a matter of when I was going to read it. Like, oh, I'm gonna read it someday. Oh, I'm gonna read it someday. No, I read it. Like, I read, what was it, Cavassus, immediately. I mean, the moment I brought it home, I read it. Or I start, like, the next day I read it. Oh, it's called Direbound. Direbound. I am almost done with that book. And then I'm going to move on to the second Harry Potter book. And then I'm going to read the Banned Books of Berlin, or the Burned Books of Berlin. I'm going to be reading that book next. And, and at the end of the month, we'll see, like, where we're at. We'll see where we're at in my thing. But if I get to 125, or even if I get to 120 books, that is going to be absolutely amazing. To be at, like, say 120 or 115 books, or whatever. I don't really know how many books I will be down to when Halloween comes around. But I think that's the great thing about reading books that you really want to read. I mean, you really want to read these books compared to people that just buy them for decoration. Because I will say this about those beautiful books that y'all buy. Do you know there's such a thing as dust mites, and they got stuff in it that you do not want on your books? Trust me, I've seen it under a microscope. It is not a pretty thing, and it likes your pages. It does. So this is why I am more obsessed over getting my physical TBR down to 0 than my digital, because at least with digital, I don't gotta worry about dust mites. But here's the thing. For all those people with 500, 600 book TBR, what's going to happen when you're an old woman and you still haven't read all the books that you got? I don't know. But anyways, so here's the plan. Like I said, in December, I'm going to Barnes & Noble to get a planner, to get a calendar, and I'm going to get five books. But I am not going to read them right away. Those are for after my main TBR is gone. And once that happens, then I'm going to set out and read those books. And I'm going to take each book. I am going to read it, 1 to 2 chapters a day, depending on if I have to work. And then when I'm done with the book, I will do a review of the book. I will write notes down about different things, and I will do that. Meanwhile, I'm going to be working on my digital TBR to at least get the books I've got on my Kindle and on my Nook to at least 100 books. That would be really good. But once I get all of my digital TBR down to 0, I will say I have no more books. But yeah. So anyways, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.